Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Hopefully this is a treat. This is Schlafly Reserve Stout aged in bourbon barrels. It is an Imperial Stout and this is the 2010 version. And I've had this one for 4 years. This is supposedly a very nice beer, but hopefully it hasn't lost too much of the bourbon taste. We're going to find out. I am a big fan of the Schlafly beers. I like just about everything that I've ever tried from these guys. And I've been cellaring this bottle just for a special occasion. And guess what? Today's that special occasion. I don't think I've ever had a bad beer from these guys. So I'm hoping aging this beer has not been detrimental to its taste. These Imperial Stouts, and this is a fairly big beer. This comes in at 10.5%. So, and this is the great big bottle. This is the 750 milliliter. So, and I don't remember what I paid for this beer when I first purchased it. It's been so long ago. My old people mind can't remember that far back. So, let's get on with this one, guys. We'll go to commercial description. It says, around the time of Louisiana Purchase, beer was shipped in barrels. If one had been lucky enough to receive a used bourbon barrel of Imperial Stout, this is what his or her happy taste bud would have encountered. Roasty, rich, malty Imperial Stout with a strong dose of caramel, oak, and bourbon character. This is a perfect beer to pair with hearty cold weather dishes, smoked meats, and virtually any dessert. Well, with the Imperial Stouts, they always go with your desserts because of the chocolatiness in those. So. Alright guys, let's go over to the food pairings for this beer. And since it is a stout, it says chocolate. So basically, it goes with your stronger dishes. The glassware is the pint, the becker, the nonic, the tumbler, the snifter. I've got the double glass today, guys. And this says this beer can be cellared for long periods under the proper conditions. Well, it's been cellared in the fridge downstairs since I've got it. So, in my personal opinion, these kind of beers will cellar for years and years and years, 10 if not 20 years. I've not been lucky enough to cellar one quite that long, but this one is probably one of the longest ones that I've cellared. There are a few older ones down there, I think, but this is a 2010 version, and we're in February, into February 2014, so this one is multi-years old. Alright, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about this beer, guys. So without further ado, let's get the cap off of this big bad boy and see what it's about. We're going to go right down. It doesn't look as dark as I expected it to be for the stout. Now, it's probably pretty dark in the glass, but it almost looks brown coming out of the bottle. Stop splashing it, fool. And down the center you see it didn't generate hardly any head at all. A lot of bubbles fizzing up from the bottom there. And believe it or not, guys, this is a rich red ruby color. It doesn't even look like a stout color. It looks more like a porter or a imperial red ale. I mean, it is, I've seen porters much darker than this. Very surprising to me that it's that light in color for an Imperial Stout. To me, that doesn't fit the style. When I think of an Imperial Stout, I think of something that is pitch black. And this is not. I can actually see the bulb through it. Very, very unusual for an Imperial Stout to be this light and be able to see light completely through it. I can't remember the last Imperial Stout that I could ever do that with. Like I said, I've had porters that are darker than this, so we will see. Let's get a nose on it. And the head that it did pour is basically gone. It's dissipated. Just a very slight hint of the bourbon. So the bourbon may have faded. So I may not have should have not cellared this beer that long. I don't know. There is a slight bourbon, but it is not overwhelming. Roasted malt, bourbon. And I'm not getting a whole lot more. This beer is really cold. That fridge downstairs is about 36 degrees, so it's even less than 40 like this one in here. It is very cold, so I'm sure those aromas are going to increase as it warms up to room temperature. Bourbon, chocolate, roasted malt, and maybe a hint of some dark fruit there. But like I said, when we come back and do the final chug, I'll give you a better aspect of what it's warmed up to be and how much different the aromas are. Not getting that alcohol in the nose. I hope I don't get it in the taste. I hope it's a well-made beer. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. The alcohol is in the taste. It has a lot of alcohol. I'm kind of disappointed that it has that much booziness to this beer after 4 years. You're definitely getting more of the chocolate and the bourbon in the taste. Got a feeling this is really going to increase in the aromas and the bourboniness as it warms up to room temperature. That was a big beer. Kind of disappointed it's that boozy at 10% after 4 years. Got a very nice flavor to it though. But I got a feeling the booziness is going to increase as it warms up too. There's vanilla in there, chocolate, bourbon, dark fruit, roasted malt. A lot of things going on. For a beer that was that transparent and not black, it has a lot of flavor. It really does. Very complex, but very, very boozy too for something that's been in the fridge that long. Well, it is what it is, guys. Let's let it warm up. Sip on this. Might fire up a nice tasty cigar to go with this one. It's not overly boozy, but the booziness is there. Kind of disappointing that there's that much booziness to it after it's been cellared that long. Oh well, it is what it is. Let's sip on it for a while and come back and do the final chug and grade on this one, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. This is a big beer. There is some booziness to this beer, but it is nothing overwhelming. Chocolate. Well, before I get into what I'm tasting, been sipping on this for, I don't know, probably about 45 minutes or so. Shared the other half. She thinks it's awesome. She loved it. She thinks it's really, really tasty. I do too. It is pretty damn tasty. A lot of the flavors, now that it's warmed up, have come out. And like I said, there is a whole lot of things going on with this beer. Very complex, very well made beer, but like I said, this is a big beer. It is a little bit more on the boozier side than I like it. It's not quite as boozy now as it was when I first popped the top on the bottle, but it is pretty damn tasty. I have to admit that it is pretty damn tasty. So let's do the final chug on this one, guys. And it is still one of the lightest colored Russian Imperial Stouts that I've ever seen. It is not black like 99.9% of them are. And it does not regenerate the head. I mean, a lot of them you'll swirl it around in the glass like that and it'll regenerate the head. This one does not. It's almost like a brandy or something in the glass now. I mean, it's a big beer. Let's do the final chug. The alcohol is there, though. I will warn you, this is a sipper. This is not a chugger. Final chug. Cheers. Bourbon, chocolate, roasted malt, vanilla, coconut, dark fruit. Wow. It's an awesome beer, it really is. I'm more impressed with it now than I was when we first popped the top on it. I was kind of disappointed, like I said, the booziness in it, but it has matured and mellowed out as it's come up to room temperature. And it is a very complex beer. But like I said, for the color characteristics of the beer, which is almost a dark ruby color and not black, it's very impressive. I was not expecting that beer to be that color when I poured it out of the bottle. I was expecting something pitch black like used motor oil, and it is not. I mean, it is. I can see light through this beer. So very uncharacteristic of a Russian Imperial Stout being that light in color. But it's got everything in the taste that all the Russian Imperial Stouts have, with the coconut and the bourbon and the chocolate and all that going on in the beer. So very impressive. I am more, like I said, I am more impressed with it now that it's warmed up than I was when I first opened the bottle top on it. So very nice, very, very nice, guys. This has the 2010 right on here, and that was the only dating they were doing then, and I'm not sure if they've changed that and they're putting a bottle on date on it or not, since this bottle is like 4 years old, and a lot of the breweries have stepped up to the plate since then and are now dating their bottles as far as when it was put in the bottle, along with the year. I'm not sure if they do that on this one or not. So, with this style of beer being a Russian Imperial Stout at 10.5%, the month and the day is really not that critical on this type of beer. It's not a hop forward beer where it's going to lose the hoppiness or any of that kind of stuff. It's a Russian Imperial Stout, which is I don't say it's meant to be aged, but it can be aged. I'm sure you could have drank this beer in 2010 and it would probably have been just as awesome, but it may have been a lot more boozier than it is now. But the bourbon flavor and stuff may have been a little more intense then than it is now. So very nice. Without me rambling on about how good the beer is, I think it's pretty damn awesome, guys. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's pretty damn tasty. I am impressed with this beer now that I've let it warmed up and been sipping on it here for about 45-50 minutes. It's pretty damn tasty. So a very well-deserved beer if you can get your hands on one of these. I doubt if you'll find a 2010 version still sitting on the shelf anywhere. I'm sure they've probably been picked up, and I think they do this beer once a year. I don't think it's been retired. It says availability is year-round, so I don't really know how often they do it, once a year, twice a year, or how often they do this beer. But if you see, like I said, or when I first started this review, if you see anything from Schlafly, it's usually a quality-made beer. I've not been disappointed from anything from these guys. So let's go see what the other guys say about this beer. We'll start off with Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 91 in the outstanding range. I think that number is a little low now. I probably would have agreed with that number when I first popped the top on this beer, but now that I've been sipping on it and it's warmed up and mellowed out just a little bit and the aromas have come out in it a little bit more, I think it's a little bit better than a 91. If I was giving it a grade, I'd probably give it something between a 97 and a 99. And a lot of people may say this is a 10 beer, and I would not argue with that. It is pretty damn tasty. Alright, we'll go over to Rate Beer, and Rate Beer says 99 overall, which is about where I'm putting it, somewhere in that area, and 84 in the style. So I don't know why they're thinking it's not fitting in the style unless they're looking at the color of the beer, and you can see light through it for the Russian Imperial Stout. I think it fits the style very well, other than the color. I mean, the color is not what your normal Russian Imperial Stout is. So, without me flapping my gums on and on and on, this is a 10%er, so I might have a slight buzz off of this one. This is pretty damn tasty. Went well with the cigar that I smoked with this one. I liked it. I did like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot more now than I did when I first opened it. Like I keep saying that. So, 84 in the style, I don't agree with that. 99 overall, yeah, I do agree with that. So it's a pretty damn awesome beer. If you had the 2010 version, give me some comments back on this, whether you liked it or not. And if you even had the 2012 or the 2007 or 2009 or the 2013 edition, let me know what you think of this beer, and you think if it's boozy or fits into the category what this beer is, and all that kind of stuff, guys. I did like this beer after I sipped on it for a while. It did mellow out, but I think the bourbon flavor may have been a little more intense on a fresh bottle than it has been on this bottle that's been selling for almost 4 years now. So, guys, it's pretty damn tasty. It's definitely a nice beer to pick up. I may even pick up another one if I see another one, and try to do that one a little sooner than this one, now that I've had this one aged for 4 years, and see if the bourbon qualities. And I don't know if they're reusing the bourbon barrels on this over and over, or if they're using fresh bourbon barrels, or what type of bourbon barrels that they are using. So any of that information that any of you guys have got on this, give me some comments back on this one. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button, and I hope we can find one just as good as this one. Maybe we can find a 10 in there tomorrow. Never know. Join me then. We'll find out together. See you then.